Hey guys, welcome back to the community for all of us. Tonight we have a great topic, but first, here is my beautiful co-host Nikki, my good friend Harold, and hopefully if Will's able to, he'll be joining us later. So yeah, we have a nice little thing tonight. Something that we kind of talked about the other day, and we're going to be looking at several things that deals with Fortnite and also hacking and cheating. Is it a problem? How's it a problem? And is there anything that's going to be done about it? So, very excited about tonight's live stream. So, hey guys, how are y'all doing?
I'm doing great, man. I got to cook some chicken on the grill tonight, and that's how I spent my Labor Day, as well as doing laundry. So,
Nice. Yeah, we took it nicely. Nikki actually made me a hamburger steak, which was
mm.
really, really nice. And
Oh,
what
I
was
have something to butt in with real quick.
what now?
I can hear Harold, but I can't hear you, Derek, at all.
You
Sometimes it
can't hear
takes a little
me?
bit for my computer to kick in. So if you have to ask me something, I won't know what you're asking.
Okay, can you hear me now? Let's see. Is your
Uh oh.
audio working or not, Nikki? Nikki.
Is your audio working, Nikki?
Not yet. I can hear you fine, which is really strange. But okay, I might hear Derek now. Say something.
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right, all right. So, and I was telling Harold that you made me a nice hamburger steak, and you also made a, which I haven't had yet because I was trying to get all this
It
together,
was
but
hot.
made a beautiful
Mm.
vegetable stew. So I'm extremely excited about having that after our stream tonight. But yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about Fortnite. Who on here plays Fortnite?
Of course, us.
Yeah,
We played yesterday.
we did, and we played a little bit this morning too, me and Nikki. So Fortnite has a big event that's going to be coming at the end of this year, and I've been around Fortnite since it first came out. I played it when it was also still a oh, what was it? It was you fought zombies, but it was like
Save the world.
save the world, and then it became a battle royale. And I kind of played a little bit the first season it came out. Definitely played the second season, and after the third season, I've been playing nonstop with Fortnite. But the problem that we are all going to talk about tonight is the aimbots and the hacking. This, I believe, is becoming a major issue, and a lot of streamers that stream that use PCs are have been saying something about the hacking, especially in 2021. Apparently, it became very prevalent, especially in the tournaments. Fortnite, Epic Games has given away over $100 million in prizes in its tournaments up to date now, and their tournament apparently they one of their cash cups has become prevalent people hacking and cheating, and that it's becoming more so to the point where some people have said that they have figured out how to hack and fly up in the air and shoot people from up in the sky as if they're Superman, and driving vehicles and having the vehicles be able to fly in the air. So a lot of hacking has already been happening. Fortnite has really been trying to hit it home and stop it, but in everything that you get money involved, people are going to find a way to cheat.
hmm
And have anyone in the group? I know the answer, but the people listening don't. Have y'all ever experienced anything that you would have said, okay, that's impossible that happened in game as you're playing?
Yes.
Yes.
What was one of your examples, Nikki? Share yours first, and then I'll have Harold share one of his.
Me and Derek play a lot together. So at one point, we were doing fine. We had our shield health. Our shield health was great. Our health was fine. There were 100. We went in to do battle with another group, and literally we turned around and we did. And that's like 200 points of melee damage from damage from somewhere, which is rather impossible since they only swung a pickaxe at us. And we were like, yeah, that's not right. So we reported it because we like fair games. We like them to be fair for everybody.
Yep.
And what's one of the experience that you've had, Harold, that you were like, wait a second, there's no way that group is not either hacking, cheating, and we're going to talk about Discord too. We'll put that in also in a
Yes.
minute, and I'll explain what
I was
Discord
going
is
to talk about that right there, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like we were talking about this last night, me and you guys, when you headshot somebody on there, and you can get them like 3 times with a shotgun, and yet they take no freaking damage. That should be in game for them, but then they take very little to no damage, and then you end up where you lose the game and not them.
Yeah. Fortnite has for a long time, you just had what used to be the Battle Royale, which was build, and it was really designed for people with PCs, and you were able to use the mouse and your buttons, and you're able to build these structures, and that was its way to be different from every other battle royale out there. The problem has become is that there's so many mods that you can do to your PC and to your um that you can't do with your console. And so Fortnite then decided, okay, well, we want people to come from Call of Duty. We want people to come from not only Call of Duty, but we want people to come from PUBG. And we want the people, and they're not wanting to play because they don't want to have it where they are building around them. So they have what's known as zero build. And so as that, it was to make it where if you had a console, you were able to play in the zero build, and you didn't have to worry about the PC people having a one up on you. It was make it where it was fair all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
So that went really well. Numbers went up as that was implemented. Then all of a sudden you have streamers. And Fortnite is something that's very much positive for streamers. They want streamers. And not only do they want streamers, they want it to, one thing that came out is that Fortnite said we have competitors and we have what's known as um, casual players. They'll log on for a little bit, play a couple of matches, and they'll log right off. What has happened though is PUBG had this problem and it really damaged the brand. Matter of fact, Call of Duty has also had this problem and it's kind of damaged their brand. But there's a thing known as aimbots, and we're going to talk about that. But before, the other problem that Fortnite's having to deal with is Discord.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Discord for my YouTube channel. I use that Discord for um to communicate with people from Warhammer. I'm actually a part of Fortnite's Discord. Matter of fact, I am one of the people that gets to videotape. If I see something that looks as if it's suspicious, I can automatically videotape. I can upload it immediately to Epic. And some of those clips you have seen that I put up on my YouTube channel, just showing my gameplay. I'm not a great player. Never claimed to be. Have I played in some of the tournaments? Have I played in some of the stuff? Yes. Have I had fun doing it? Have I got my butt kicked? Absolutely. Because I'm not that good of a player. But that's because I just love the game. Um, and with it though, Epic has actually used the clips to go after certain people. And for a while there, Epic had came out and said, "Hey, we want you to play with other people. We don't want you to just play with your own little clique, but we want you to play with other people." But then it was getting so bad that there was so much cheating going on that people were getting penalized for teaming up with someone else that they didn't really know that was hacking or using aimbots. It got reported and the whole group got punished. So a lot of people, were getting banned, shadow banned, stuff like that. And it was really, people that were playing fair, not knowing that, and they're like, "Hey, you wanted us to play with people we didn't know. You want that to happen, but now I'm getting penalized because this person over here." Now,
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite has had a problem for a while, and I'm going to pull up. Um, I'm going to first show the Reddit. So let me do that. Where Fortnite is, a lot of people are not. They don't feel like um, Fortnite has done enough to stop the hacking. I mean, you have a whole Reddit pages dedicated to cheating. Hacking has become popular, and I don't think Fortnite is doing enough about it. Do y'all think that Fortnite's done enough about it by the little bit that y'all two have played? Because y'all two are new to Fortnite playing per se about this year. Is that the case?
Yeah, I'm rather brand new.
Yeah. Well, I think that's always going to be, a thing, but, they just got to keep on being vigilant, keep on, seeking out the cheaters and hackers and all that. And
Yeah, I have played Fortnite wow, 7 years.
Mhm.
And I have to say probably around the chapter 4 at the somewhere in chapter 4 at the very end, and some in chapter 5, but chapter 5 I have seen the most cheating and hacking I had ever seen. I have seen people um be at one spot and I'm shooting at them and then they just fly off, like
Mhm.
literally like they're Neo in the Matrix, and they're zooming off into or I get one shot and I'm hitting them with a epic or legendary, and I'm getting killed with a gray pistol or
Mhm.
even with a common, a green, And so I started noticing that, and I played with another group of guys that I'm friends with, and you know we all started noticing that people were able to hit us without using a scope. And we would be like, "Where's that shot coming from?" And we're looking everywhere. We're all looking at everybody's sixes to see where this is coming from. And before we even know it, our whole team's been eradicated. And it kind of took away from the fun of it. And so a lot of people on Reddit feels that Fortnite's not doing enough. But I don't think we all understand the monster that is happening. Fortnite right now, numbers came out. This time last year, Fortnite is down by 40 million players than
Mhm.
it had. So right now, Fortnite averages about a 100 million plus players. Last year, it was averaging, and the chapter 4, it was averaging almost 200 million overall. It was like crazy, and so the hacking started happening. Fortnite was recognizing they were losing their numbers, and a whistleblower came out saying that, hey, Fortnite's not worried about actually going after these hackers because they're spending money in the shop. And that became a big thing because they're spending a lot of money in the shop, and Fortnite's looking at it going, well, we're getting thousands of dollars from them in the shop. And I showed Nikki, was it this? I showed you this morning the clip where the guy, I was like, this is how they cheat using a PC. How they're able to move
Mhm.
the character up and down so fast that it's unnatural. You can't do that with a controller.
And that
And
part wouldn't necessarily be considered cheating, but it's an unfair advantage from consoles to a PC gaming computer.
mhm. And
Because you do multiple things because you have a whole keyboard that you can set up. Because you go into settings and you say, okay, you want this to be like L and this to be like M and this to be like whatever. Plus, you have your mouse to use too. So essentially, you have multiple things you can do at once. You can hit 2 buttons, 3 buttons, 4 buttons. Whereas on a controller, you have access to a finger, a thumb, a thumb, really. Unless I don't know who plays it like this. That'd be crazy. But really, you have these two to work with on your console controller.
exactly. So one of the Reddit pieces that came from Fortnite VR said cheating hacking has become popular, and it has been. And I'm going to show y'all some things I think you'll be amazed by. There are companies out there making money off of this, and I don't think Fortnite is doing enough about it. I know two people who have either are or have been cheating. One of them stopped 7 months ago, but nothing ever happened to their account. One of them was just abusing aimbots, flying vehicles, and stuff on an account for an extended period of time and got his account banned, but no hardware ban. He plays on a different account. Now, we saw this yesterday with people using this thing called the anonymous account, and then they have a number. An anonymous 266, you know who you are. You definitely was cheating. You either have a Discord and you're using the Discord to have everybody converge into this one spot.
You talking about
Um,
the
yeah,
the
last
the
night.
9-on-3 deal last night?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a bunch of dork sickles. I hope they get banned.
yeah. And see, Discord is become a thing where it's kind of hard because that's how they're getting around the loophole, is because Fortnite has no answer to Discord servers. And a Discord server, you can actually have an open talk mic, a live page, and then when you get into a server, you can say, "Okay, I am here. Everybody converge to this spot here, and then we'll either go up and down or we'll do this, and we'll all know that we're from the same group, or we'll ride the bus to the very, very end, and then when it kicks us out, we'll all converge and know who's together and who's not. We'll kill them." And that's the problem with Discord right now.
Or the
It Go
or
ahead.
how about the ones that act like they're fighting each other, and they'll be acting like they're enemies, which you're supposed to be on a certain number of teams, not any more, not any less, and yet when then they'll sit there and act like they're against each other, but then when you go up there, they're baiting you, and bam, 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 you're gone.
Yes, and or And the other thing too that I noticed that a lot of people use, and you can't help this because that is a bait with the crown, but people
Mm,
being able to drop their crown and then picking it back up. I think that Fortnite needs to either, if you have a crown, you can't drop it. I
yep.
think that the only
Should be
way,
non-transferable.
exactly, I think that if you lose your
Unless
crown, the
you're
only
dead.
way, exactly,
Yep.
that's the only way,
Exactly.
and that you
Exactly.
can't just drop your crown and bait people in, because that's something that's been going on. But one thing that people are dealing with, it says it's hard being in the same lobby as a Twitch streamer and a YouTube. Otherwise, I don't think that's as hard as people make it out to be, especially with dealing the fact that Fortnite has made this so uh, cross consoles from PC to Xbox to PlayStation to Switch to now your mobile device using your phone. Um, it used to be that if people were Twitch streamers or they were on, they were playing with a PC, typically they would have been lumped together. But that has kind of changed, especially since last season. That has changed. That Fortnite came out and said, "Hey, we see this stuff on Reddit. We're seeing this. We understand that there's a problem. That's why we're giving you now Blitz. We're giving you OG. We're now giving you um, Reload. And yeah, Fortnite is giving us more choices. We can say, hey, we want to just play Blitz." And that was supposed to be Blitz was supposed to be for mobile only. I tested Blitz when it was in its beta because through my Epic account, and you could only play Blitz um, with your phone. That was it. That or your tablet. You could not use it with a laptop. You couldn't use it with a PC. You couldn't use it with your Xbox. I also got to be on the beta and test out Ballistics, which is a first-person shooter. Those were supposed to be Blitz was supposed to be for your phone, mobile devices, and that was it. It became popular rather quickly, and they just recently had their first tournament. But then you have a guy that's a streamer, Ninja. I can't remember his name, but they actually made the whole Blitz arena based on him because he kind of like he helped blow it up, and so the whole thing was based off of him. But he's a PC guy, and that becomes
Mm,
the problem because with PCs you can actually do a lot more than you can with a console. You're limited to very few buttons compared to a whole keyboard that you can have it set up and be able to have it completely set up and like I had somebody build literally a mansion around me in one match where I couldn't knock out the walls strong enough to get before the storm ended up killing me because and I'm like that should not be the case. You shouldn't be able to build that much because you're supposed to be limited on how much you can build with. You're supposed to have only
mm.
500 metal, 500 brick, 500 wood, but some people found ways around to have these little caches where they're able to go into like a little pocket thing and pull things out. Um, so the cheats are happening more and more. But I want to show y'all this clip real quick. And I know I'm rambling because we have so much that you're gonna be actually before I do that, let me do this first. I want to show y'all this. Let me do that. Because there was just so much. I mean, I was expecting to kind of have to hunt around um to find anything, and I didn't. Right here you have a a site that is this is Cosmo Cheats. And this isn't the only one. I've got other ones too that we'll look at, but You look here, it says the best undetected Fortnite hacks and cheats of 2025. All the hottest features to get a victory royale. Something I had never seen before in my life is I saw somebody that had over 160 plus victory royale crowns. You got the silent bots, smoothing. Um, you got wall hacks. And wall hacks means that you'll be able to see somebody through a wall and be able to shoot them. Radar, where you'll be able to ping them, and I'll show you some clips in a minute. But this is just and just some of it, and this is how much it's going for. You got $5 US, $7 US. You know, there's different ones. You get to choose what you want it to be. Why choose Cosmic Cheats? Purchase now. This will let you know right where a person is, their whole body, how much they have XP left. So, I mean, you can clearly see how they're able to do it. Here's showing you some things they're able to do where you're up in the air flying, aim bot, silent bot, flying in the air, spinning, driving on boats. You got your building hack, how to be able to kill people with just a pickaxe, how to not take any damage. One thing people had figured out is that if you had saved up enough sprays, you would be able to stay out in the storm and you would survive. If all you had was health kits and spray, you would be able to stay out in the storm. And while the other person's in the storm, they're going to eventually die, and you're going to just be able to sit there and not die, and you get the victory royale.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing I was very surprised by, y'all remember whenever this season came out, because it's all about the bugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Nikki, you and I were playing, and I killed one of the queen, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a second! Why did I not pick up the augment to
Medallion.
yeah, the medallion?" And you're like, "I think you did," and I was like, I don't have it in my inventory." What was it that we found out about that? What?
They end up taking them out because these guys could go around and get 3. Because this is actually a streamer that we were watching. He said I could go around and get all 3 of the medallions from the queens, and I would literally have victory royale 100% of the time. Every time I had 3 of them, 100% accuracy rate.
Mm.
If
So it was
and
way too
Fortnite,
powerful when they took them out.
yeah, I mean, Fortnite immediately recognized, wow, and, and and what really should have happened is you shouldn't be allowed to have all 3.
Right.
You
When
should
they
be able to
first
have
came,
one.
yeah, when they first came out, you could only have one, and then streamers and people at PC were angry about it. They're like, if I kill it, I should be able to have it and carry it. And
You
so
have to
then
choose.
Fortnite was like, yeah, but and then Fortnite was like, well, okay, well, we'll let it be that way. But see, that's what happens when you have a company that doesn't stick to their guns. Fortnite's really good at customer service. They're really good at helping out you as a creator or you as a casual player. But the problem with what's happening with Fortnite is that it's catered so much to streamers that it's now making the casual players walk away.
Mm.
And you don't want that
Um,
No.
because not when not when you want the game to be fun, you want everybody to be a part of it. So the other thing that I was surprised by, let me see if this is it. Yeah, this one's here. I'm gonna pull this one up now. But like you can see, I mean, there is website after website after website And let's see. There it is. Again, this is Fortnite cheat. As you can see, this is dealing with, this is supported by PS4s, PS5s, Xbox consoles, PC support any screen solution, smooth mod menu, stream proof, ban bypass. And that is what's happening. Is the reason why you're seeing more and more of these anonymous. They're able to bypass the bans. And the softwares are not being done. Now, Fortnite has gone after a couple of hackers, and in some they've gone full throttle after for hacking. Like one is right now that was they're being sued. One hacker for over $100,000 for hacking that was in a tournament. But this is what Fortnite's dealing with. This is something that, not only are they trying to make a game that's playable and enjoyable and have collabs with all these different collabs, like if you're like anime, you got, One Punch Man right now, you've had Kaiju 8, you've had My Hero Academia, you got collabs with Marvel and DC Comics have had collabs, you got Star Wars collabs. But the thing that is happening is that this is something that they're dealing with nonstop to the point where you can have infinite ammo, super jumps, unlock all, which means you have every skin that is going to be where you won't have to pay for any of the skins. And that's where Fortnite makes their money. And these things are out there, and people are using them and giving this money to these websites.
Look,
And
that one says fake lag.
yeah,
So, sometimes when we approach another character, we're fine. And then all of a sudden it's like glitchy. And we're like, why is it glitchy? And it wouldn't be beforehand. And we wondered about that. And apparently that's a cheat they could probably put on us.
yep. And it takes away the fun of the game. I mean,
oh, look, there's an observer list. That means with individual names, so you can see who's watching your thing after your match or whatever.
which you now share with that where you were in the tournament, you're still learning. And I told you about the feature of being able to sit there and watch somebody afterwards.
During the tournament, and I kind of understand that. I don't know if the cheat would work in this instance to let you watch it, but so after I would get killed during the tournament, I would want to go watch some of the other players play so that I can know, oh, okay, that's something they're doing. And that time I wasn't very understanding of what was a cheat and what wasn't a cheat, but very shortly after I would start watching, maybe a good minute in, it would send me back to the lobby because it didn't want me watching. I as them trying to keep people honest, I understand why they did that. I don't know if that applied to everybody though. I didn't have any cheats on, so it just automatically sent me back to the lobby. But if I was doing a cheat and I wanted to watch somebody play the whole time, would that make it where I could watch the entire thing during the tournament,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I do feel sorry for Fortnite because they're having to spend millions of dollars into trying to stay up above um these hacking companies. And this one right here, apparently this is like one of the ones that people go to. And you have private Fortnite hacks offering. Now this is I'm just showing Fortnite, but this goes for Call of Duty and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite has taken the world by storm, captivating millions of players with its fast-paced battle royale action and creative gameplay. But in the competitive world of Fortnite, some players seek an edge with an aid or a cheat and hacks. These tools can provide a significant advantage, such as a perfect accuracy, which we saw. I showed Nick a streamer, and I was like, I want you to watch this stream, and I'm recording this stream because I want to know how, one, he knew where the player was, and two, how was he hitting this player without
You couldn't even
using a
see him from his
scope?
screen.
Couldn't see him from the screen at all, but yet he is hitting this guy so much that he even says, "Oh, he's still up on the roof," before he even jumps over there, and he somehow is able to leap from the ground, not using anything, from the ground on top of one of the buildings where the other person's located, and then kills the guy in a one shot. But yeah, he's been tagging him the whole time. That guy's over there trying to heal himself, where he's probably sitting there going, "Where am I getting hit from?" Because
Right.
I was like, "Nikki, I want you to see this. I'm recording this because I want you to look at this and you tell me, do you see where he's hitting that person and how he sees them?"
Mm-mm.
There was no way, unless you have an aimbot. It's the only way, because what an
And here's the
aimbot will do.
funniest. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The funniest thing about that particular creator is that he was talking about cheating. He was talking about how cheating was making it where um, players would get an unfair advantage, and yet he was cheating.
Mm-hmm.
The same guy that we talked about that was like, "Oh, I wonder where he's at." And even though he pegged him, he shot at him without a scope, and it registered that the player had been hit. And he's like, "I wonder where he is," and he goes and jumps down there to go see where he was located, and he's talking about cheating, and yet he's cheating during his explanation.
Yeah. I mean,
Can we
and what
say hypocrite much?
it was more of a brag. It's more of,
Oh,
look, I'm
Is that what it
streaming this.
was?
I'm streaming this. I'm hacking. I am using aimbot. I'm talking about cheating, but I'm not going to get caught by Fortnite because there's a brand new aimbot where what you can do is, if somebody is in your in your area, you will fire your
in your
gun.
proximity.
Yeah, you'll fire the
That's
gun,
the word you were
and
looking for.
yes, vicinity. Thank you. And
Mm.
immediately it will toggle you in the direction of where the other player is. And all you have to do is hold down on the mouse and it will hit them every time. And then if you don't want the algorithm to catch what you're doing, what used to happen is you have an aimbot. It would always be on from the start of the match to the end of the match. But now there's a new one where you can toggle off, where you can sit there and have the aimbot on, and then you can hit a keystroke and it'll cut the aimbot off, so that as the thing is running and the pixelating going through for Fortnite to look and say, okay, yeah, this person's using aimbots, it throws it off where it's like, well, they must have just got really lucky, so it's not a red flag to Fortnite. And this is a new one that came out beginning this season. And this season here, I have seen more um, aimbots than I have ever seen the entire time I played.
Mm.
And it's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. So we're going to take a look at this video, and I'm going to make sure I have it linked in our description. Matter of fact, I'll actually put it in our, because he actually does really well at explaining. So I'm going to put this in our our comments on the side. So if anybody wants to go and look at the whole video, it'll be right there, and then it'll be a reference for me to do. But this company here has no beef about telling you what their product will do, how much it'll cost, $10, $12, any Fortnite cheats that really work. It shows you how on the map it will you'll see this, but it will not show up on your stream. If you look, you see the person's outline, and it will tell you where you'll be able to beam them and hit them with the bullet and where their body is. But while you're streaming or while you're doing what you're doing, this will not show up during your streams. It only will show up on your PC or on your game. It won't show up on your Twitch. But they're bragged so much about how they can do this. They put this all up for people to see it.
Oh, and this one's in Spanish.
Yeah, they have
The
Spanish.
little
I mean,
screenshot, it's up here, is actually a Spanish streamer, looks like.
yeah. And so, yeah, here's another one. How far away they are. You don't have to have a scope. You're able to get that immediately. And then I'm going to share. So I'm going to take this one out, remove, and now I'm going to show the YouTube. So let's go to here. Let's do that. Let's do this. And so here we go. So I'm going to bring this up and make this bigger so that y'all can see it a little bit better. So he shows right here some of the things that's been done.
Onto opponents' heads so that you don't have to aim train at all. The hacks will basically do the work for you. Now, to be fair, it is much more nuanced, and if you are a terrible player that starts cheating, it's very obvious, whereas a good player might not be as easily detected if their aim only gets slightly better. And then there's ESP, which is another type of hacks which are called extrasensory perception. When you have hacks like these turned on, it will display important player information on the screen and let you see players through walls. And on top of seeing them, you'll also know what HP the players are at, possibly what rank they are, what weapons they have, and anything else that the ESP developer puts in. See,
Now, one thing I want to point out here that I wondered why I saw so many people using that type of pixelated. You saw the character where, let me back it up. Let's see. Right there, you see that, how they're like pixelated like that. That is the skin that Fortnite came out with to, I think that this was their way of trying to fight that, you would have your character already look like this, so it would kind of throw off them being able to do it. But this is something that's been going on, and I feel like it's
possibly
going to
what
make it
rank
worse.
they are, what weapons they have, and anything else that the ESP developer puts in. See, most of these hacks come from sellers online. These hackers basically promise you that you can play the game undetected from Epic's anti-cheat software, but in reality, you will probably get caught anyway. Epic Games knows that these sites exist too because they've sued cheaters before, not just once, but multiple times. In 2017, Epic Games sued a 14-year-old who was advertising hacks on his YouTube channel. And
Yep.
he wasn't some massive YouTuber, he only had 14,000 subscribers. But Epic is incredibly serious. They argued in the lawsuit that these hacks were not only ruining the fun of the game, but also actively violating Epic's copyrights. On top of that, in 2022, Epic Games sued an entirely different cheater known as Blaze FN. Blaze was selling cheats alongside inactive accounts with rare skins and a bunch of other stuff that went against Epic's terms of service. Obviously, Epic Games was not happy with him either, and we don't know how much Blaze was required to pay Epic Games, but we do know that Epic Games won the lawsuit and donated all of the money they won to charity. After he was caught, however, Blaze never sold hacks again. And you should consider these cheaters lucky, because in other game titles before, people have not gotten away with just a slap on the wrist or paying some money. In 2020, Gary Bowser, who was a member of the well-known hacking group Team Executor, was arrested for his role in creating and distributing hardware and software that enabled piracy on Nintendo consoles. After his arrest, Bowser was extradited to the United States in 2021, and after that, he pleaded guilty to multiple charges, where he was sentenced to 40 months in prison. This case, for the first time, highlighted the serious legal ramifications of hacking for making money. So, with all of that on the line, why would anybody risk cheating for a few $100s or the glory of their name on a leaderboard? And to find out the answer to this question, I asked one of Fortnite's leading cheat developers how he started cheating in the first place.
I bought a spoofer and then I started like buying cheats. Or I didn't want to buy cheats because they cost money. So I had like a YouTube channel from when I was like good at the game, and then I said to the cheat developers, like the random ones, I don't remember what the name should be, that I'll make YouTube videos if you give me a cheat key. So that's how I first got into cheating.
And I assumed if he had continued to cheat for this long, there must be some big positive upside to it, considering all the risk.
So I don't know what it would be overall, but we're the most popular DMA cheat. And on like the best month, like a few months ago, there was FNCS heaps of zero good tournaments. We made 30,000 USD, and every month it's above 10,000 USD from hardware, from the DMA firmware, spoofer, and the cheat. There's other DMA cheats, they make 5,000 or 6,000 a month, which is a livable amount off selling DMA cheats. And then people that buy the cheats, you spend like $200 in the setup, and then you earn in 2 zero good cups, and you've already made your money back.
And
So right there, that lets you see and hear why they're doing it. Here's the thing. I know that people are going to get a high, thinking they're going to finally be able to get it up over the corporation. But where we live, Epic Games is based out of here. Matter of fact,
Mhm.
if Nikki knew who Epic Games was, she actually had been offered, because Nikki actually used to do beta testing and things for different games coming out, and she had been given an offer to beta test Epic Games, Fortnite games, before it even hit the ground running. And we didn't know who it was, so she's like, she passed
I'm
up
just
on it.
silly.
I know. Thinking back on that, Nikki's like, oh God, if only you only have, but she was already doing so much other stuff, and we were having our book was being published for the very first time at that time. So there was a lot. She was a full-time teacher, so there was a lot that was already on Nikki's plate. But we look back on that, and we look back on that email, and we go back and go, wow, that is crazy. I mean, it's as crazy as the fact that somebody gave me Bitcoin and I thought it was trash, and I put it in the recycling bin on my computer and got rid of it, because that's how they wanted to pay me for something I did. And Nikki's like, Bitcoin? What Bitcoin did you have? How much did you have? I was like, oh, it was just, some type of digital payment, and it's stupid. She's like, oh my God, if you only had that now. But the fact is that there is big money to be made with this. My question to you two is the fact, seeing this, like, right there in front of your eyes. Y'all two are new to playing on Fortnite. Is this going to make it where you don't want to play Fortnite, or do you go, nah, I'm going to still play it because I enjoy it and I get to hang out with people?
Yep.
Well,
Yep, look,
I found, Fortnite, like like me and my one of my cousins were talking about, because one of his kids likes to play Fortnite as much as my nephew KJ does. Um, and there's so much you can do on Fortnite, even if you don't want to, you know, do the battle royal, do the blitz, because you can. They've got farming games on there. If you want to do the zombie shooters, they got the zombie shooters. Uh, I found this one little thing called a Vibe Place last night. It's like a little club on there that you can go hang out with, and
oh, that's
it,
cool.
it kind of reminded me of the old PlayStation Home server when it was around on PS3. It's like, nostalgia,
Yeah,
because I mean, I spent a lot of my time, when I was younger, when PlayStation Home was around, it was like, staying up just so you could play on PlayStation Home. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I was telling Nick, I said the funny thing is that I have played on Fortnite on 3 different consoles and 1 PC.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't do the PC anymore because one, that is an expense, and that's where it comes down to, is that a lot of these hackers and thing are really your PC players. Now, that doesn't make every PC player out there a bad person. It does not.
Right.
I mean, there were times where you could play games back in the day and you had a thing called God mode. And you put in that little
Yep.
God mode code and you would be able to do whatever you wanted to in that
Or
game.
a little disc we used. I mean, and we've all done it when we were younger. The cheat codes, either go on cheatcc.com, cheat code central, uh, or buy a Game Shark or a Game Genie, depending on what
Yes.
era you grew up
eh,
in.
Yep.
Um, and I got to get that rocket launcher on Resident Evil. I got to get there.
Exactly. I mean,
But when you're playing a game like Fortnite, it's like, come on, dude. I mean, what to what end are you doing this? I mean, if you got to go to be a MLG pro or a E League pro, um, what's going to happen when you use that crap on there? That I'm pretty sure they're not going to play that crap,
no,
and you're
and
going to be disqualified.
it, or what Epic has been doing is going after them financially. I
Exactly.
mean,
Another thing.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like you said, the going after financially, prosecute, could possibly be arrested or whatever,
Yeah.
because
For
you're ruining everybody else's game experience. Pretty much be the equivalent of being an online bully.
Yes. And that's something that Epic is very much adamant about not allowing to happen, is bullying or using their platform to. Now, Epic is coming out with a huge update at the end of this season. Now, back in the day, when it was still before it ever was chapter 6 season 4, it used to be just chapters, and by you got to chapter X, what ended up happening, because a friend of ours, the reason why I got playing Fortnite is that a friend of me and Nikki's, their daughters was playing, and they wanted Nikki to be a part of it and wanted to make sure that there was nobody, um, uh, uh, the online predators and stuff like that, especially them being girls, make sure it was safe and everything. And um, I remember when Epic shut down all their servers, all their everything. And when you logged on, all you had was a black screen with a little circle in the middle. And I remember, everyone freaking out. And leading up to that point, you had the story was building up with the cube, and I got to throw that to Nikki today. I was like, "Hey, you want to know more about, Kevin and stuff? So here it is. This is what led up to it." And then, because Epic was doing this epic storyline with Fortnite. And then they were having early on during that time the hacking problem. So you know what Epic did? They shut everything down. They shut it all down. And when they shut it down for 3 days. Kids were losing their crap because they didn't know. I bought all these skins. I had all this experience. I had all this stuff, and and they were freaking out because Epic didn't let anybody know. But one thing I
Mm-hmm.
told Nikki when we were playing this season, I said, "This obelisk, hey buddy, oh look who come to see me, Nikki.
Oh,
Hey Cringer, come on. Is we have a big old obelisk in the middle of the map this season. That's only gotten bigger, and I have a feeling that Epic's about to do what they did 6 years ago. That they are getting ready to probably do the same thing, have everything shut down for like 3 days because I didn't think they were going to throw out a patch this quick and take away those medallions like they
Mm.
did. I knew they were going to have to do
mhm.
something, and I kept saying they're going to have to nerf them, but they took them out altogether, and Epic has not done that ever since they introduced the medallions. So I have a feeling, and y'all are hearing it from me from here on Community for All of Us. I have a feeling that Epic's about to shut down their servers by the end of this, probably at the very end after we have our big Epic event. I think that's what they're going to end up doing, and they're doing a complete overhaul and scrub like they did many many years ago. And a lot of times you have to do that to keep your game and everything relevant. You have to do something like that. And I have seen enough where Epic has been going after these hackers right and left. I think, and they're aware. They are aware. When a country boy like me, that all I get to do is casually play Fortnite, and yet they allow me to upload not just screen clips, but I get to upload directly to Epic server. The here's what I'm thinking is kind of questionable. Will you look at this? And Epic will come back and be like, "Way to go!" You know. Now, if you have someone that's hacking, there is a thing that you can do where you're playing somebody and you feel like they had an unfair advantage. You can option to report that individual. 9 out of 10 times, the only thing that's going to happen is that Epic's going to make them where you will never play with that person ever again. They will be banned from your console, your PC, um, and that's essentially like you yourself blocking them. So Epic already has that in place. So if you feel that way, Epic has that already there. But Epic is epically looking, and I'm just trying to play on words, but they are constantly looking. So one thing why I was like, "Hey Harold, I'd love to play Fortnite with you." It's like why I play with the guys. Is why I now, I got Nikki a subscription to it now, so she can get those free skins and stuff like that, and it's because it's fun. If
Mm-hmm.
battle royale's not for you, you can actually be a creator yourself. You can create your own maps on Epic
Exactly.
and share that with your friends. Matter of fact, someone that we knew at one time actually did some of those creator maps. And
I
like,
almost forgot, Derek. Sorry, you go ahead.
no, go ahead.
But I forgot. I talked about the farming games and the all those other games, but I forgot the music games on there. They've even got the music games if the battle royal is not for you.
And
They have what
Lego.
Yeah, and
Lego,
Lego.
yeah.
And Lego. Yes, yes. I forgot
So
about Lego.
I mean, if you were a big Guitar Hero and you loved you
Hmm.
some Guitar Hero, they got it set up. I suck at it, but I play it because I got people that I know that like to try it out, and I like a lot of the music. I mean, they have
Oh yeah.
music you can actually buy and listen to.
Hmm.
And then at Lego, you can build a radio and you can
Yep.
have 10 songs plugged into it that you can have playing while you're building Legos. I mean,
Jam
and the
out to
one thing
Linkin Park or something.
Deaf Mouse for me, I was like, and
Dead
Metallica,
Mouse.
I was like,
Yes.
yeah,
And
I was
Metallica.
like, yeah. So I mean, um, there's songs that Nikki's always wanted me to listen to, and she's like, "Oh, this is in the store. I'm going to use my D-Bucks to get that song," and then she'll play it for me, and
Hmm.
I'll be like, "Oh, it's a really cool song," you know, because I don't really listen to music. That's something Nikki loves. I
Hmm.
only listen to music when it's techno and I'm doing artwork. But Fortnite has something for everyone. You have Rocket League. If you link up during the Disney time when they have their the Disney collab with Fortnite, you link up your Disney account, you typically will get a free skin. You
Hmm.
know, Fortnite gives out free skins. You know, you can also play and they'll give you out V-Bucks so that you can use those V-Bucks if you want to buy the battle pass the next season. So it does, it's all inclusive. It's there's so much that Epic has with Fortnite. I don't want to see it to go.
No.
Right now, if you get the music part of it, you're getting gorillas. So I
Yes.
mean, there's so much that is available. But one thing I do have to say is that I feel that Epic is getting ready to yank the carpet out from underneath certain people. Um, that when they come back to play, none of their hacks are going to work.
Yep. You can't
Because
take care of your toys, they get took away.
that's right. And we also have next year we have a big, huge Disney major collab that has been in the
Hmm?
works since the Deadpool movie, Deadpool versus Wolverine. We had the what was it? This was it the C2E2, the Disney thing that they had where you go into the auditorium virtually and
D23 or something.
yeah. And so we have the thing that Disney is the whole reason why Disney pumps so much money into Fortnite. We have something that's going to be released next year. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be. I mean, and if you didn't know this, but the whole reason why you got to see Galactus like you did in the Fantastic Four movie is because Epic did it first. And
Hmm.
they were able to show that look, it will work. Cinematography will work. He will work as this big humanoid walking through Manhattan. Look, Fortnite did it. I mean, they had Doom, the big major event with Doctor Doom, and before Robert Downey Jr. was coming back to play Doom. So Epic has its finger on the pulse. Um, and I didn't want this video or us doing our podcast tonight and leave people a bad taste and be like, if that's how it is, I don't want to be a part of Fortnite. I think that you will find something. And honestly, I think at some point one of those creator maps is going to blow up bigger than the battle royale. I really do. And and don't forget, there's a story. There's a story you can play, even though you die. You can play and get the
Hmm.
story and be able to interact with the characters in game. So you do have a story arc that does take place.
Hmm.
So with that, is there anything that y'all want to share about your personal experiences Fortnite that has been memorable to you personally, and so that Either one of y'all go ahead, go first. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Well, I'm personally glad you got me into that, Derek, because I've had my grandkids talk about Fortnite, and had different people Fortnite, and I'm like, why? Why would I play something like that? But you got me to play it, and once I tried it out and found out all the stuff you can do on there, it's not just build a ramp and shoot somebody from it and whatever else. It's so many things. Like I said, farming, got the music games, got the Lego games, you got the whatever. I mean, whatever you're into, I'm pretty sure it's on Fortnite. I
Exactly.
mean,
What about you,
like
Nikki?
you had the oh,
No, go ahead, Harold.
No, go ahead, Daryl. Go ahead.
oh, but and you look at the different events like the Star Wars event, because we all it's safe to say all three of us, we love our Star Wars, we love our robots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
First of all, look who's that.
Yes, where's my that's my what do you call it, the main menu screen song, and that Derek and Nikki hear that every time when I'm online, and of course I'm always that Mandalorian skin. Thank you, Derek. And with the C3PO backpack, so
Yep. That's that. Yeah, the Mandalorian, being able to design your own Mandalorian has always been a dream of mine, and be able to
that
have
was
it in
awesome.
the game. I'm like, oh my god, everybody's got to have this skin.
Yes. And when
What
I
It's
saw
about
that
you?
funny
C3
that go ahead.
and when I saw that C3PO backpack, I'm like, I wasn't gonna use my V-Bucks, but I'm like, Harold, you can't call yourself the robot man if you neglect to buy this and then end up where it doesn't come back for another 5 to 7 or however many years.
Yeah, that's always my argument with Nikki too. Hey, I gotta have this now.
Yes.
What about this one?
I do have to give him a budget.
She does, and she's always been really good at it. But what about you, Nikki?
I was thinking back to the first time I heard about Fortnite, and it was in an oddball way. I was watching a creator that did oddball things. Like, he was a gamer, but he was from Britain, and he did one of the things he did was he got one of those big bubbles. I'm going to get around to it, but he got one of these big bubbles, and he was going to float in it from one side of Britain. This is on the water, to the other side of Britain, and he did all kinds of crazy stunts. And so one day it was like, oh my God, they're coming out with this Fortnite. It's going to be free. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, And so I just remember him waiting up for it, in Britain it started like 3 a.m, where, it occurred during the day here in America because that company's on the East Coast. And I think back to that and going, I didn't know I'd be playing it because I like watching games. I grew up watching games. I had 2 brothers that monopolized the Nintendo. There was only 2 controllers, and so I was outnumbered. And I used to like to watch. So Derek's got me where I got really involved in playing games. We played Halo for a long time.
Yeah, she was my saving grace in Halo.
And so the second thing was that my nieces started playing. And I never felt like they were gamers per se. Their mother is. But they played because they could interact with their friends in a fun environment outside of school time, and talk. So instead of being on the phone, they would just do Fortnite and play games and talk and stuff. And I always thought that was very cool that they were able to do that. And I thought that would be fun to do that. It took me a while, but eventually Derek got me my own Xbox and my own TV, and we got me to where I felt comfortable enough to go into Fortnite. He got me started with Lego. That's where I started. And the first season, I think I had did I get 537?
Yeah, higher than anything I've ever had.
What's that? It's hard to
That's
see.
the One Punch Man.
Oh, One Punch Man.
Trying to get it.
There
There we go.
you go.
So right there, you go. As I'm doing this stream, I can play on my phone.
You should be. You'll probably die because you're running the stream. You're running this particular podcast.
I am. But yeah. And that's the cool thing about the whole thing is that, I think when I was young, comic books and cartoons, and then you had your action figures. And that was the thing that had the biggest influence on my life. And now there are kids that have Fortnite, and there's Fortnite toys that have come out, Fortnite Nerf guns that have come out, water guns. So Fortnite has taken that part of what I liked as a kid with Saturday morning cartoons, waking up on Christmas morning and seeing what toy I got in, and my comic books, and brought that to life. Fortnite has done that for so many people, where you have kids and adults, and it's safe. You're not having to deal with this whole thing that we're not even going to get into tonight, where you have with Roblox. But Fortnite has become this safe environment and fun. And that's the great thing about being able to talk about this, because you can have old fogey like me being able to talk about something that every person in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether they know it or not, has been influenced by the Unreal Engine that is used. That
It's just
is
found in
being used.
everything now.
Yeah, that's being used in movies and commercials, and you can thank Epic for that. They're the reason why you have the graphics that you have in movies, and someone like me that has worked in movies, and kids that were come out of college that I would have so they could do their internship, is showing me this Unreal Engine, and I'm going, you can do what? You can do all that on your tablet, and it looks that good, and seeing that now bleed into what came out from a game that has become a phenomenon in itself. And I gotta say, thank you, Epic, for giving us the opportunity to delve into your little world that y'all have created, that I'll be playing probably when I get off tonight after I eat, doing that. So with that, guys, is there anything that y'all want to share you're doing this week? Hopefully, Will will be back with us when everything's kind of get slowed down with his schedule, and he's kind of been really back up. And I understand, deadlines. So he's been really bogged down with stuff like that. So hopefully he'll be back soon. Um, Will, if you see this, I actually got you something from Big Bad Toy Store. So hopefully in the next week or so, this will probably be getting in the mail and sent to your house. But it was something that I saw, and I was like, he said something about it, and I got the extra little thing to do. So that's your nice part. You can't know what it is till I get it shipped out. So, all right, guys, is that it? We done?
That's all.
I think
Yep.
so.
And then that's it. So we're going to end the stream there, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next Monday at the same time, same place, same everything, and we'll catch you later. Bye, guys.